flood. One moment the ground beneath you is steady, the next it is swallowed in chaos. Loss strikes, betrayal cuts, storms roar louder than your prayers, and you wonder if this is the end, if the weight of it all will finally drown you. The flood is meant to terrify you, water rising, no escape in sight, your strength fading fast. The enemy wants you to believe the flood is final, that there is no rescue, no survival, no way forward. But he forgets this. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Isaiah 59:19. The flood is not the end, it is the signal. It is the alarm bell that heaven has already risen to act. Understand this, brother. God does not always prevent the flood. He allows it to rise, to roar, to rage. Because the flood reveals two things: who you are when the ground is gone beneath your feet, who he is when he raises his standard against the storm. I have faced floods, nights when betrayal poured over me like a river, when grief rose past my neck, when silence from heaven felt heavier than the water itself. But every time, when I thought I would drown, something rose. Not from me, from him. The flood is real, but so is the standard, and the standard of the Lord is heavier than any tide. Brother, the flood wants to drown your hope. The flood wants to silence your faith. The flood wants you broken before you ever reach the battlefield. But stand in the rising water. Stand when it feels impossible. Because the higher the flood rises, the stronger the standard will be when God lifts it. Floods are not quiet. They roar with violence, tearing down everything in their path. But when the Lord raises his standard, even the roar of the flood trembles. The standard is not just a flag. It is the declaration of war from heaven. It is the mark that says, "This ground belongs to God. These people belong to me. This battle is mine." When soldiers marched into battle in the old days, they followed their banner. It was more than cloth on a pole. It was identity, courage, and command. If the banner still stood, the army still stood. If the banner rose higher, the warriors rose with it. And so it is when the enemy comes. The standard of the Lord does not fall. It does not bend. It is raised above the flood, higher than the chaos, louder than the roar. And the Lord is my banner. He has sworn, the Lord will have war against Amalek from generation to generation. Exodus 17:15-16. Do you understand, brother? God does not hide when the flood comes. He raises his banner in the flood. He does not run from the fight. He declares it. I have seen men collapse beneath the waters of despair, never knowing a banner was raised for them. I have seen warriors let the flood bury them, forgetting that the standard was already lifted before they even called for help. But the ones who endure, they are the ones who fix their eyes not on the water, but on the banner above it. The enemy does not fear you drowning. He fears you looking up. He fears you seeing the banner raised. Because the banner means his flood has failed. The banner means his time is over. The banner means God himself has entered the battlefield. So, when the flood rises against you, do not waste time asking, why is this happening? Ask, where is the banner? Because when you see it, courage returns. When you see it, fear flees. When you see it, you remember this truth. The battle is not yours, it is the Lord's. Floods rise fast, but they do not last forever. What begins with chaos ends with silence. The waters that threaten to drown you will one day lie still, not because they grew weaker, but because the standard of the Lord broke their strength. The enemy believes in overwhelming force. He sends betrayal, sickness, poverty, temptation, fear, not one by one, but all at once. He believes if he comes like a flood, you will break. But what he forgets is this: the flood is no match for the rock. When the storm has swept by, the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever. Proverbs 10:25. I have stood in waters that should have carried me away. I have felt the current of despair trying to drag me under. And yet, here I stand. Not because of my strength, but because of his banner. Because when the enemy rose, God rose higher. When the flood came in, the Spirit lifted me out. Brother, every flood has an end, but the standard never falls. The banner of the Lord is eternal, raised once, raised forever. The scars you carry are not from drowning, they are from surviving. The testimony you hold is not that the flood was strong, but that the banner was stronger. And when men look at you, wondering how you lived through what should have destroyed you, you will point upward and say, because the Lord raised a standard against the flood. The enemy tried to drown your faith, but now your faith is a fortress. The enemy tried to bury your voice, but now your voice is a trumpet. The enemy tried to silence your story, but now your story is a weapon against him. So let the floods rise again. Let the waters roar. Let hell come with everything it has, because the standard of the Lord will rise higher, louder, stronger, until the flood itself is swallowed in defeat. This is the promise. The flood will come, but the banner will always be greater. The flood will roar, but the banner will roar louder. The flood will fall, but the banner will remain forever. And when it is finished, you will not be the one drowned. You will be the one standing on dry ground, battle-worn, scarred, unshaken, while the flood lies broken at your feet. For when the enemy comes like a flood, the Lord raises a standard, and that standard never falls.